Good morning and welcome to the Another Delayed Kickoff podcast. Yes, the podcasts are back and we're joined by Maximus.
Hi, how are we doing?
Brilliant. And Jamie.
Morning. I just had to mute myself straight away because I was just a sip of my drink and started having a coughing fit. Which immediately after you started it, I just started having a coughing fit.
Good first impressions of a podcast, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, at least I muted it.
Yeah, that's professional right there.
That is professional. How we were doing, boys?
Yeah.
Obviously, weekend league went well for Jamie.
It didn't go well for Max.
No.
It didn't go well for Max because he got chefed up 6-0 again.
How can you get 6-0 if you don't quit at 3-0? You need help.
I've got morals.
No. If I'm 3-0 up against someone and they haven't quit yet, I'm not happy about it.
Some big news half an hour ago. Jonathan Woodgate has been relieved of his duties as Middlesbrough manager. Neil Warnock has already been hired as his replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. I'm glad to see Warnock back.
You're a big Neil fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a big Neil fan. He's mate. He's just brilliant. And
Middlesbrough have got no chance of going up anyway, I think.
No relegation.
Youngsters, Nathan Wood, Lewis Wing, Tavernier, but I don't think they're going up.
No. Anyway, this is Premier League podcast, so that's good. Yeah, brilliant. Jamie has no time for the Championship.
No.
Unless money's riding on it. Then let's go into the results because the Premier League is back. The first result, Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0. Brilliant start.
There's not much to say about this other than obviously
we'll get into the main talking point in the return of the conVARsation.
Never actually
said it was a shit game.
We'll get into that in the conVARsation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I struggled to watch it. It wasn't a good first game back.
No, it was. I watched the first half because I was at work and it was just boring.
I think Premier League missed the trick by having this game on first.
Yeah.
I think if Sheffield United played Ravel Morrison, they would have won. No, I'm joking. Obviously, he's on loan at Middlesbrough. So.
Middlesbrough getting a lot of references right now. Yeah. No, absolutely nothing. Probably a better point. Who's the point better for? Villa or Sheffield United?
Villa, 100%.
Yeah. I feel like Villa needed 3 points.
Yeah. It's very congested at the bottom three, so it's good. It's good for Villa to have those 3 points, and they can hopefully. Well, no, I say hopefully. I don't want them to stay up because their fans are just fucking idiots. But hopefully they can. For them, they can build on that. Obviously, it won't because we know they lost 2-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah, I feel like Sheffield United's season's almost over now.
Do you think? I think you're right.
Just
after that defeat to Newcastle, I think.
Yeah, they're never going down. They're not getting a Europe spot now. So
I think they'll get.
It'd be unlikely that they would get a Europe spot anyway. But
it kind of rides on the game coming up that we'll talk about a bit later.
So, yeah,
big game.
That's a big game. Anyway, we'll go on to the next game, which is the David Luiz showcase match. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 0.
What do you want to say? I mean, David Luiz,
they actually did well for the opening. What was it, 35 minutes?
Yeah, I haven't watched the game back exactly. I've looked at different sort of.
I think what best sums up the game. What best sums up the game is that Arsenal were playing okay, contained City, got a couple injuries. David Luiz came on, and then the game was over with that substitution.
Yeah, the injuries just ruined them because I had a bet on I had a bet on for City to win an over 2.5 goals, and I was very worried after 35 minutes. But thankfully, David Luiz saved me.
Oh, Christ.
So David Luiz holds a special place in your heart, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How much did you win? Are we talking thousands?
Nah, I got got 50.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we love David Luiz.
Yeah,
Mm.
Fair play to David Luiz and helped you out there, mate.
I can't even see him playing another game for Arsenal after this.
Yeah.
No, that was such a poor. But you got to think he might come back from it.
No, he'll never stop making these mistakes. He's been doing it for a very long time. I can't see him ever getting.
Yeah, but you've got to also remember this is the man that Antonio Conte wanted to bring in, and he's arguably what helped them win the league in 16-17. He was that last-minute signing for Conte that made the difference. You know what I mean?
And it's signing for Arsenal.
Conte's three-man defence wouldn't have worked without Luiz.
He's done. He's done at the top level.
Yeah, he's done. He's not coming back from it.
I do hope his name isn't tarnished because of it. Like,
I don't think I've seen a worse individual performance in some time. Coming on as a sub, playing however many minutes he did play before getting a red card and conceding a penalty and making a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, as a defender, it's hard to get into the game once you come off the bench. But I mean, it was still shocking.
Yeah, he was bad.
Another 3-0 Norwich against Southampton. Another slow game where Southampton just scored 3. And then
England's quite good, isn't he?
Yeah, Ings is quite good.
Norwich started well, to be fair.
Yeah.
They were on the start, but Southampton just gradually got more and more into it as it went on.
I think what the theme of all these games, because it's the first game back, is that all of them had relatively slow starts in terms of, like, no one came out of the gates swinging.
Yeah.
They just
I mean, it wasn't,
feet, which was obviously going to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting weekend of football I've ever seen.
No.
The games were really slow at the start.
Yeah. But big win for Southampton. Norwich, I think, are done. I don't think they're coming back now.
Yeah, Southampton are safe now.
Yeah.
They're on good form, and I feel like with Danny Ings as well up front,
Yeah.
when you've got something like that and you're in a relegation battle, he just gets you out of it.
Exactly. That's what Pukki needs to be more consistently for Norwich.
Yeah, that's what I thought Pukki would be for Norwich, but he's sort of dropped, hasn't he?
I never thought Pukki would do well in the Premier. I thought he'd do well opening game, carry his form through to the Championship. But I thought, no, it won't be consistent enough for the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, the way he started, I thought he was going to get them out of it, but he just sort of fell off as the season's gone.
Yeah. They've got some good players, Cantwell, Buendia.
As Chaz said earlier in the year, so is Haller. You know, Sebastian Haller, West Ham player, he's done it as well.
Yeah,
he's players that have dropped off.
Haller wasn't even that much on form as Pukki.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been on form coming to the Premier League, has he?
No.
Anyway. What league did he come from?
Oh,
sorry.
Was it the German first league?
Sorry, yeah, of course. He did really well in the Bundesliga, and he came over here and he's a flop. I wonder whether I've heard that story before.
I'm looking forward to
I feel like Norwich are going to be a bit in the shit if they get relegated.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of players that are just way too good for Norwich in that team.
Yeah.
There's no way they're staying if they get relegated.
I think Tim Krul's far too good to be in that team.
We know you think Cantwell's too good to be in that team.
Yeah, I think
it's Cantwell at United.
Yeah,
Speaking of United, they drew 1-1 against Tottenham on the Friday.
Was that you boys? Honestly, you talk about because I want to hear your opinions on that. Was there a pen shout? United.
That's subbing for the conVARsation.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Ollie made a lot of mistakes in that game. I feel like the starting line wasn't right.
No, my issue.
No.
My issue isn't with the starting lineup. For me, I think he got the starting lineup right. Where he went wrong is not making the subs earlier. He should have brought Pogba on at halftime. Not.
Yeah, I don't see the reason.
I think Pogba changed the game when he came on.
Yeah.
I don't see the reason for waiting that extra 15 minutes in the second half. Like, it clearly wasn't working, so what was the point in just wasting 15 minutes of that second half?
Exactly. If he brought Pogba on at half-time, United would probably have won that game. Because the longer the game goes on, the longer United have to score and win. I don't
Yes.
think Tottenham were
Spurs
backs
never
against the
in
wall.
the second half.
No. I guess we should talk about David De Gea's howler.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
becoming a
It's becoming on the regular.
quite a reoccurrence, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
will say, I think it's unfair for Roy Keane to criticise him the way he did, saying he's overrated. And that's at the end of the day, he has won a Premier League with United. He's won the Europa League with them. Obviously, you two are probably phoning at the TV because United fans probably don't want to hear it from me. But I do think, as much as he's had clangers in recent years, he's still a top goalkeeper. He's definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you can't take away from what he's done. But yeah. I mean, even Gary Neville was saying it that he's been like this for about 2 years now. So it's no longer just a dip in form.
He had a world-class season, and I don't know what happened. He just
it was about him 17-18 season, but since then he's just gone down and down, and the mistakes just keep happening, and it's obviously not just a dip in form anymore. It's obviously
costing your team.
Just where he's at now.
I don't know whether you bring Henderson back in because apparently Chelsea want him. I don't know whether you bring Henderson back in and just do a swap deal with them for Kepa. I mean, that's probably a bad idea considering how poor Kepa is. But
I mean, it makes it even worse for De Gea, the fact that we've got someone on loan who's performing the way he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would personally get him in. I feel like it's time. I feel like it's just time to move David De Gea on. As much as
yeah, it's a tough one.
I think you need to start playing Henderson in goal. Do you think this sounds stupid? Do you think Romero will start the next game?
No.
He won't. He won't drop De Gea no matter what.
He's still a good shot stopper, David De Gea. People forget that.
But I think it's unfair that Romero don't get to start as much as De Gea does because, I don't know. I personally really rate Romero. I think he's starter for any club outside of United.
He's the
5 minutes after he made that mistake, he had a great save from a header from Son.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's still got the saves in there, but he makes so many mistakes which just cost us a game. But I think Watford away was the other one that I can think of where he just cost us the game.
And I think he did one at Everton as well.
Yeah. We're just losing too many points because of him, and you can't do it. If he didn't make these mistakes, or even just made half of these mistakes, we'd be top 4 by now.
It's dodgy, isn't it? Because he's won so many points for United in the past, and now he's losing points. It's kind of a sticky situation. You don't want to slander him too much because of what he's done in the past.
Actually, I would be interested to see who would sign him up.
I don't know if Real Madrid still want him. With Courtois slowly coming to form.
Courtois coming better. I don't think they'd. So I don't know whether.
I feel like he would be going back to Spain.
Yeah.
Maybe PSG, maybe Barcelona. Probably not though, because they got ter Stegen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already got great keepers, haven't they?
But I doubt it. Juventus don't really have the money.
Dortmund, potentially.
I mean, with the starting 11 with United, the only thing I disagree with was Dan James. I'm getting a bit sick of it. Like he's clearly so much better off the bench, impacting the game. Greenwood's got to start.
I feel sorry for him though, because United signed him for that, and then right at the start of the season, he was playing loads of games, he scored loads of goals, and we had a high expectation of him. But now,
it's not his fault. He's not currently at that level where he should be starting.
No,
he's got to be worked his way in, but it's just the fact that we just don't have a right winger. We've not really got many options.
Then why can't
it's him or we throw a 18-year-old in?
Yeah.
Fortunately, the 18-year-old is very good.
Watford won, Leicester City won. 2 late goals. 2 90th minute screamers from defenders.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game before them goals.
No. Obviously, Schmeichel made that save. That
the last 10 minutes was good.
Yeah. The previous 80 it wasn't great.
No, which I was expecting a bit more from Watford Leicester. You know, obviously they had that playoff game years ago. But I think I expected more.
What did you think, Max? I know you're against.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Leicester, and I think that you're probably going to both laugh at me for saying this, but I think that's saved by Schmeichels. That's what a goalkeeper does. They make themselves big. They come out. It's not really a special save in my book. I mean, if you wasn't saving it, I'd be surprised. I think you should probably have closed him down a bit sooner. But who am I to judge? I play in 6-a-side leagues, and my last game I got 16-2. So,
Do you think?
I don't know what save you're referring to, which means that it wasn't that good of a save.
Yeah, well, everyone was posting saying, "Oh, what a save from Schmeichel," and I was like, "Really? That's just any standard save."
You should spend less time on the Midlands.
The goalkeeper isn't making that save. I'm really surprised. But yeah, I felt like he could have just got a bit tighter to him. But so yeah, he did well in the circumstances, I suppose. But I think the game, as you say, I think it was boring. Like, I've watched it back and it was very boring. Sort of two styles of football, not created. Like they don't. Sometimes you get styles of football react. But this time it was the game was a bit flat, and obviously two great goals from defenders, as you say. Chilwell scored a great goal. But now, as you say, obviously Dawson with a bicycle kick. I'm not really sure how he's pulled that out of the locker.
The audacity to try that in the scenario as well was pretty stunning.
Imagine like you're in a relegation battle. You're a defender. You Craig Dawson, and you try a bicycle kick and you pull it off. I mean, like you say, the audacity to try it. I mean,
do you think?
I don't think anyone knew he had that in the locker.
Do you think Leicester still get top 4?
We'll come on to that because that is the big question. But
maybe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dropping off personally, but I think they'll probably still get it. I mean, it's pretty hard for them not to get it.
They have got a slight gap above Chelsea in the West, but bigger point for Watford than it was for Leicester. And when Watford score 90th minute goals like that, when they've just conceded 90th minute, that shows you that they have the fight to stay up.
Yeah, they won't get relegated.
That's not
under Nigel Pearson, the way they're playing.
Yeah, speaking of relegation, Arsenal lost 2-1 to Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are a bit irrelevant now, aren't they? Like,
yeah, Arsenal, I think, are out of the conversation for a little while. I mean,
they're not even getting Europa League at this point.
Yeah, that's a great shame for their fans. Obviously, no European competition for the first time in 25 years, something like that.
We'll talk about the main talking point in the conversation, but it's when you go 1-0 up, you can't lose to Brighton from 1-0 up with the talent they have. You can't do that, but they did. Arsenal fans have meltdowns.
It's just the defense is shocking.
Yeah, their two best players are either end of the pitch, Leno and Aubameyang, and unfortunately Leno got injured, but it's sticky for Arsenal. What's people's opinions on Lacazette? That's an interesting one because he's on a bit of a rubbish, let's say, bit of form. So
yeah, I mean, I don't like him at all. I don't rate him.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one.
I mean, he missed a few chances, didn't he?
Yeah.
He could have won the game if he was more clinical, but Arsenal fans always defend him. I think they want him to do well, but he's just not good enough. Aubameyang just outshines him every week.
Aubameyang has to leave Arsenal. If he doesn't leave Arsenal, then he's got no.
Yeah, he's way. I mean, I don't know what Arsenal are going to do if Aubameyang leaves.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, they're already shit.
Lacazette and Nketiah up top. I don't know.
I reckon it's time.
Yeah, I do like Nketiah.
I reckon it's time for Martinelli through, because Arsenal are not going to challenge for anything within the next few seasons. So maybe it's time in this sort of transitional period to try and start Martinelli. And
I don't understand why he's not been getting any game time. They're probably going to get to the point where they want him out at some point already.
They want everyone out, mate. They always want someone out, and it's just as you say, it's a bit annoying. But no, I'll have a look at their top scorers. Martinelli's their second highest goals. Oh, hang on, no, he's not.
Ozil's another one.
10 goals.
He's just not doing anything
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal fans seem to stick behind him no matter what, but I feel like you just can't make any excuses for him. He's just not good enough.
He has one good game every now and then, but
yeah, he'll have one good game every now and again. Arsenal fans will just excuse him for the next 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does anyone want to hear an unpopular opinion?
Go on, it must be unpopular if you think it's unpopular.
I'm going to say it. Pedro Neto is probably as good as Gabriel Martinelli, but he's not rated because he doesn't play for a big club.
Yeah, I mean, that is quite unpopular.
That is unpopular, and that's a nice transition.
Martinelli's very top level youngster. Like, he's being compared to Greenwood. I feel like all the youngsters just get compared to Greenwood. I feel he's the top youngster in the league.
Nah, all the youngsters get compared to Mbappe nowadays, mate. They're just...
Yeah. Anyway, Wolves did beat West Ham 2-0 with Pedro Neto scoring, along with Jimenez. Traore came on, changed the game. That's basically
as predicted.
I'm obviously going back on my Now TV pass. I will give him 3. Shout out Wolves. Yeah, it was a great game. Obviously, when Traore came on, but up until then, we couldn't really create much. Jota, obviously, I've moaned about him before. I'll moan about him again. Like, he just runs at players, falls over, and thinks, "Oh, I'll get a foul from that, and I'll make myself look good because I've made a run and made a dribble." Mate, honestly, just pass the fucking ball.
That's what Wilfried Zaha does, isn't it?
God. It's like Jimenez or Neto or someone will run in and be so clear in on goal, and they'll just try and dribble past this player, but this player will stick a foot in and get the ball, and Jota will fall over, and it'll be like, "Oh, mate, just pass the fucking ball." Like, seriously.
What was the reason that Adama didn't start? Because, I mean, obviously it was quite a good decision because he did change the game.
I wouldn't start him next game. I think he's.
But I mean, it just didn't look like you could create anything until he came on.
I think, yeah, as you say, I didn't look like we could create anything, but I think he was brought on with the sole aspect of, we're not looking good at the minute. We'll bring Adama on. He can do something. He can get past the defence, change the tempo of the game. But at the same time, like, I don't really want to go into next game and without creating anything for 60 minutes and go, "Oh yeah, we'll chuck Adama on. It'll be fine."
Who is your next game?
I think Nuno will bench him though.
Who's Wolves' next game?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean, after Bournemouth's performance, that should be another win for you.
I'm big fan of Jimenez.
Very poor against bottom sides.
Jimenez is one of my favourite strikers in the Premier League.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's incredibly overrated. And when United link with him, I'm not sad about that. Underrated. Not overrated.
Not overrated, mate. I was quite confused.
No.
You have got a good chance for Champions League now, to be fair. What, are you level on points for United, 5 off Chelsea?
Yeah, well, at the same time, we could both get Champions League, but that would mean, as I say, yeah, I'd rather see Podence or Neto start over Jota next game, because I'm just chance after chance, like there's a good chance and it goes begging because he can't pass the ball because he wants to take on these defenders and look good, and it's like, just honestly, it does my night. And then everyone's like, I rate Jota. I'm like, no, sorry, no, not having that.
So do you think he's going to go the same next game and just not start Adama?
Yeah, probably start 2 up front. It'd be Jota and Jimenez. Walks into any Premier League midfield.
I'll have to question that.
He's still on that.
Of everyone else. And, mate, honestly, he's just amazing. And Neves as well had a brilliant game against West Ham.
I feel like that's something me and Charlie will. I feel like we'll never agree with you that.
Yeah, Moutinho's good. Don't get us wrong, but
yeah, no one's saying he's not.
When you have Neves,
any team in the Premier League,
yeah,
maybe not Man City.
Yeah, true.
Maybe not Man City. Their midfield's quite good. But he would definitely make the bench for
him. Anyway, final game until we have to swap Zoom calls because this one's ending. Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2. Bournemouth are down.
Bournemouth were so poor.
Bournemouth are going down.
Yeah, you put a tweet out, didn't you, about Bournemouth being down?
I'm not even.
Everton.
I'm not going to even laugh if we beat them tomorrow. I'm not going to. Normally, I'll get in the face of every Bournemouth fan I know and say, "Oh, we've beaten you." I'm not going to laugh because I think that's really bad.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably the strongest lineup I've seen from them in a while.
A lineup without Ryan Fraser though, because of his
Brooks was very good.
contract.
Yeah, Brooks is good. I like him.
Yeah,
I thought get through Crystal Palace. What is it like? They've gone like 6 hours of football time without conceding now.
Well, I think one of the most underrated players in the league as well is Milivojevic.
Yeah, that free kick was class.
If you want him,
Cahill's
a dead ball,
so much as well.
Yeah, he's brilliant. You don't get talked about because he plays for Crystal Palace. But yeah, Palace are. I think they are. Hang on, I got the table where they are
2
above
points
Arsenal.
over Arsenal, aren't they?
Yeah, level on points with Spurs in 9th. That's pretty damn good.
See, everyone's going to talk about this Arsenal season. No one's going to talk about that. No one talks about that Chelsea season in 15-16.
That season was kind of a write-off because
didn't they win the league next year though?
Yeah.
Sort of a bit of relevance. Arsenal definitely won't be winning the league next year.
Newcastle 3, Sheffield United 0. St. Maximin proving us all wrong. Well,
yeah, can we scroll up to the game if that's all right?
What was that?
Can we scroll up to the game?
Oh yes, my bad. What I don't. Yeah, there we go.
That's okay, mate.
I have it on my phone. That's what I'm
referencing. The viewers might want to see it.
Yeah, I have it on my phone. I might get rid of the screen. Who knows? Spontaneous.
Yeah, obviously we were all in the chat. Some Newcastle's front three associate, some Maximin's a dribble merchant, and then they all went into. I mean, granted, some Maximin's goal was a bit of a tap-in.
It was a mistake as well.
It took a bit of skill, but there you go. Yeah, it was a bit of tapping. I do still think
performance,
he's massively overrated.
He's not massively overrated, but he is overrated.
Jamie,
I feel like you're both massively in denial, to be honest.
Oh, Christ.
I feel like you've held this agenda against St. Maximin for this long. You feel like you can't let it go now.
No, I've let go of a lot of my agendas recently, and I can't let go of that one because he's just so poor. Like,
we'll talk about one of these agendas in a minute.
Against Oxford, mate, he couldn't get a shot off, and when he did, it was the weakest thing ever. And
you can't have something against him based on one game.
One Oxford, and I've watched him since, and I watched him against Wolves, and his end product's just so poor.
It's similar.
As you said in the chat earlier, he's what Adama was last season.
He'll be good.
He'll
come
at
the moment.
He'll come good, but at the moment he's a bit overrated.
Yeah, but he's what a small club. Well, I mean, they're not a small club, but he's what a poor team needs.
Yeah.
For the fans as well, if he needs something, because most of the games we're just going to be sitting back, 11 people behind the ball. So we need someone in that team who's just going to bring a bit of excitement.
He's enjoyable to play on FIFA.
Yeah, he's enjoyable to watch as well. But
yeah, I love wingers that are skillful and just make things happen. This is what I've got to love for Traore and St. Maximin.
Dan James, or no?
No, maybe not Dan James.
Yeah, we'll talk about.
I feel like I did all right with my prediction in this one. I knew Newcastle wouldn't lose this one. I do quite like Newcastle. I feel like the addition of Danny Rose did really well for him.
Yeah, they've got an okay team.
Yeah, they've got a sort of like a solid team overall. Obviously, we need to improve the striker, despite him scoring. But
yeah, Joe Lenton is poor. We'll talk about Sheffield United's Champions League hopes, I guess. But Newcastle's safe, aren't they? They're not getting.
Yeah, Newcastle are safe.
They're not. Which good. Steve Bruce done an okay job there.
He's done a great job. Everyone thought he was certain to go down at the start of the season.
If or when the takeover happens, I think you got to stick with Steve Bruce as the manager.
I completely agree. Everyone slates him, but he's actually done a really good job at Newcastle. I think he's done a better job than Rafa has.
I think so as well.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle fans might argue with it, but I feel like you can't really.
Yeah.
No.
Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 2. Courtney Hulse with the goal, as well as Pulisic and Giroud. Another underrated talent, that Olivier Giroud, actually. He's a very useful player to have.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of a useful player to have, but I definitely wouldn't be taking him at United.
Oh no, he's not.
I feel like it's a massive, like, they need to improve that so much for striker. And they have done with Werner. Like, going from Giroud to Werner, I think that's such an upgrade for Chelsea.
But
like, I just see Giroud in the starting.
Abraham, though. Abraham's usually the man up there. And he didn't start to.
Yeah, I mean,
he's resting for City, I assume. But I
saw the front three of Chelsea. What was it? Willian, Loftus-Cheek on the left, and Giroud up front. And I thought, that is such a bad front three. Loftus-Cheek's good, but that's not his position on the left. Willian, Chelsea fans hate Willian.
He's not a winger.
No, he's not a winger. I do like him as a centre mid.
Yeah, as a centre mid, he's great. I don't know where recently though. I've seen a lot on Twitter. Oh, he's up there with Pogba. He's up there with Pogba. I don't know where that's come from because he definitely is not. He's not. He's been out for a year, and everyone suddenly started saying, "Oh yeah, he's up there with Pogba," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around him, maybe mainly built from Chelsea fans.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
But no, I do like him. I do like him.
Yeah, I like him as well.
I don't rate him as highly as Chelsea fans do, but I do rate him highly.
I rate Pulisic highly as well. I think he's really good talent.
Yeah, Pulisic is good.
With Ziyech and Werner, part of that front three next year.
Yeah, they're gonna have a dangerous team next year.
That's if they all click.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it can go two ways, can't it?
Said it before. I can't see Werner getting more than 14 goals.
I mean, it can go two ways. They can either all click and Chelsea one of the best teams in the league, or they can all turn out to be Alvaro Morales, and it can go awfully for Chelsea.
I saw a post of Chelsea strikers. Some hit the ground running. You got Jogbas, of course, your Costas, and then you got your Torres and Moratas that don't. It's either really good for Chelsea or really bad. There's not really in between.
Yeah, it's never in between, is it?
No, but I reckon Werner will be on the Jogba Costa good side. I reckon it's a good signing for Chelsea.
Way Chelsea play and the players that he's going to have around him, I think it's going to suit him a lot.
Yeah,
I can't see him not doing well.
Everton, Liverpool, that's just Liverpool haven't won the title yet. That's basically all you can say about that.
Okay, I feel like we shouldn't even talk about it. It was that bad.
Don't talk about it. It was such a poor game.
It was so awful. I can't believe I wasted an hour and a half of my life watching that.
The Merseyside derby is just not anything.
There's so much hype around them as well.
Yeah, it's the worst derby, I think, in the league.
I got the prediction right because I said to my mate who's an Everton fan, I reckon Everton are going to scrape a 0-0. And to be honest, I mean, they should have won it. Yeah, they had the better chances at the end.
Richarlison should have scored a couple of chances.
It did not look like a Merseyside derby. It didn't look like anyone was asked.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
It's first game back in all defence, and Liverpool will basically have the title sewn up anyway. It's just a matter of when, not if. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of a nothing game. I mean, Everton in our spots.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a good point for Everton.
I mean, under Carlo as well, I feel like they've got a chance for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll be up there next season, hopefully.
Yeah, next season.
Finally, Man City 5, Burnley 0. Phil Foden with 2 goals, Maximus. Anything?
Yeah, Phil Foden.
I'm in the mud there because he's really proven me wrong. He's proven his worth since lockdown ended. He's been absolutely class.
It wasn't even from his natural position either. It was
he's been brilliant.
Top performer.
He's been amazing.
I mean, he played on the left, but all the good things he did.
Of a player from yesterday's game, I cannot speak higher of a player from yesterday's game. He played amazing.
Yeah, Mahrez was also very good. He's got
Mahrez is good. I mean, that was a good penalty too.
Mahrez is finally finding form at City.
I mean, he's been consistent there. Like, I do like Mahrez. Like, I was absolutely gutted when United didn't even attempt to go for it.
Yeah,
because he was desperate to get out of Leicester for a while.
Yeah,
and United were crying out for a right winger. He would have been absolutely perfect for United.
Yeah, he'd done well at United if he'd gone there. I think he would have.
He would have been perfect for us. I can't believe we didn't even attempt to get him. It's a joke.
Man
We
City.
got Alexis Sanchez instead.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely awful talent. It's not even a talent. Yeah, City always batter Burnley, don't they? I feel sorry for Burnley. They're just a bit of a nothing club, aren't they?
Yeah, I did think it'd be a bit closer than 5-0, to be honest.
Nah, yeah. So that's the results. Let's jump to the fixtures, the upcoming fixtures. We'll just give a score prediction, really. So, Leicester Brighton, which is tonight as of recording. Leicester Brighton. Who people
got? I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester.
I'm going to go 1-0. Brighton are that annoying team that no one can get past. So
I agree. 1-0. Brighton are going to ride the high of Arsenal. And Leicester, I don't think are going to be as good as they were before lockdown, after lockdown. Tottenham, West Ham, London derby.
I'm
going to go comfortable win for Spurs.
I'm going to say 1-0.
I'm going to go 3-1 Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham are struggling and I feel like Spurs with all the best players back, they're going to have way too much for West Ham.
This is the game Harry Kane performs in. This is
game.
Man United against Sheffield United.
West Ham, didn't
Nothing's certain.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man United, Sheffield United.
Yeah, United win.
1-0.
Oh, come on.
Nah, 0-0, 100%. Sorry.
No, you got no Dean Henderson.
Unless Pogba starts.
2-1.
2-0. If Pogba starts, it'd be 2-0 United.
2-1.
No Dean Henderson's big for Sheffield United. Big for United.
Oh, Henderson not starting, is he?
No, well, he's on loan, isn't he? It's not allowed.
Oh, yeah.
And Egan is
starting more.
Egan's got a red card as well.
Probably 2-0 United, then I'm going to say.
I'm going 2-1.
Yeah.
I can see it. I'm conceding a cheap goal.
I was going to go 2-0, but since Max has taken that, I'll go 3-0.
Oh, lovely. Newcastle, Aston Villa. Steve Bruce derby.
I'm going to go draw.
Yeah, I'm going to say draw as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 0-0.
Yeah, it's got 0-0 written all over it. Norwich, Everton.
I don't see anything apart from Everton win.
2-0 Everton, yeah, 2-0 Everton.
Yeah.
2-1 Everton. I mean,
to be fair, Norwich
doesn't matter that
first fixture, didn't they?
I think they did.
But that was when we didn't have Carlo.
That was Marco Silva's.
Yeah.
Wolves, Bournemouth. It's got to be
2-0 Bournemouth. 2-1.
I knew you was going to say a Bournemouth win. You've got something. You can't predict a Wolves win, can you?
He always bets against Wolves.
They're just so inconsistent. I never know what they're going to do.
He always bets against them just so he has ground.
Honestly, you had the worst Wolves fan.
No, honestly, 2-1 Bournemouth because
2-2.
Bournemouth fighting for their lives.
That's what I'm going with.
2-2.
No, I'm going 1-0 Wolves.
I love it when he predicts Wolves. It's just so complimentary, but I always disagree with it.
So. I've got more confidence from Wolves from that.
I've seen so much shit, mate, honestly, that I just don't ever expect to win against.
You have a good team. You level on points with United. I can't see why you don't rate yourself.
Oh, no.
I do get what you mean, though, because I'm like that with Man United predictions, because I don't know whether they're going to...
We're so inconsistent against some sides, though, that I do think we are going to falter at some point.
Yeah, but you have to have some confidence after Bournemouth's performance against Palace.
Liverpool, Crystal Palace.
6-0 Palace.
You sound like one of them celebrities that do the Loro predictions on BBC, and they're like big Palace fans, so they just joke about it.
2-0 Liverpool. This would be the game they win the Premier League.
I was going to say 1 or 2-0 Liverpool
winning the Premier League.
They can't win it on this game.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
They need 1 more point to win it, don't they?
No, they need.
We need 5, don't they?
So yeah, 4-1.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I'm going 1 or 2-0. It's going to be a close one.
I'm Liverpool going to 4-1. I just feel a big win for Liverpool coming. Burnley, Watford, joyous 1-0 Watford.
Yeah, well,
1-0
2-0
Watford.
Watford. They've got
2-1
too much for Burnley.
Watford.
Southampton, Arsenal.
1-0 Southampton.
Yeah, 1-0 Southampton.
I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton.
1-0 actually, 1-0.
It's going to be exactly the same as the Brighton game.
Yeah, 1-0.
And the game that could potentially win the title for Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. Chelsea, of course, have won the title for Leicester before.
3-1 City or 3-0 City.
I can see that. I'm going to agree 3-0 Chelsea.
Chelsea is so poor defensively. Other than Kante, who plays at CDM, that I just can't see it.
I think 2-1 City.
Nice. Now let's have a conversation. Let's chill. Let's go back. Jamie's first conversation.
I feel like me and Max have really different views on this.
Right, let's go to that Villa game first. I want to get out of the way, piping up and saying, "Oh, that was a goal." They cannot talk about ethics whatsoever unless they pipe up and say that's a goal. They are hypocrites.
You are chatting complete shit.
No, they are hypocrites, mate. They are absolute hypocrites. You cannot talk about that Leeds game last season and then go and do that and know full well it's crossed the line and say...
Yeah, but did they know it crossed the line?
He's watched Didn't Buzz.
Yeah.
Mate, honestly...
If goal line technology says it hasn't crossed the line, surely how can they know it's crossed the line?
You would go with the technology that
Nyland carried it over the line. It was past the post.
Yeah, but he...
And his watch buzzed at half time and said, "Oh, that's a goal."
Yeah, but you can't...
Right, and how are Villa supposed to know that?
By Villa's standards last season, what they should have done was let Sheffield United run through. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think they should. I completely understand if they don't. But I just find that they cannot talk whatsoever about ethics or morals because they are hypocrites.
I don't think they truly knew that the ball crossed the line.
But it's not the same. It's not the same situation.
Look, at the end of the day, we'll never know. It's heat of the moment. They might not have. But
one of them.
I've got them down.
One of them was Leeds being. Oh, I was going to say the C word. One of them was Leeds being dickhead. It was just an official's mistake. It was nothing to do with Villa.
I don't know, mate.
I'm with Jamie.
What do you mean you
don't
know? Was it Villa's fault that
you would trust the technology that hasn't had an error yet? It's faultless.
How in any way was it Villa's fault? The goal line technology got it wrong.
For me, if I'm carrying a ball across the line, I'm going to say, "Oh, ref, that's across the line." I don't care what position my club's in. I'm not a cheat.
So that's the other way around.
It's not a cheat. It's not cheating.
Wolves need a point to get Champions League. That happens. You're saying Wolves go and score an own goal.
No, I'm not saying they should have scored an own goal. I'm saying what they should have said was it crossed the line. If they'd said it crossed the line, it would be fine.
What difference does that make?
Well, because then the ref would have given the goal.
What? So the ref's going to go against technology and give a goal because Villa players said it crossed the line?
Yeah. No, if Villa said, "Oh, look, ref, that ball's crossed the line, you should probably give a goal."
In what world are you living in?
Genuinely.
Villa, who are fighting for their lives in the Premier League, going to do that.
And I understand all that, but I don't know, for me, they just can't really talk about. It's hypocritical for me.
I don't think they truly knew the ball crossed the line.
I think Nyland did.
Yeah, but even if he did.
Yeah, even if you did, you're going to trust technology.
Either way, I think they've got off the hook there very easily.
Germany probably knew that the ball crossed the line against England in the World Cup, but it's the World Cup. They're not just going to go, "Yeah, no, ref, we don't want that goal." Oh, they should have that goal.
Neuer was the only one who knew, I think.
So in that game, Neuer should have said, "Ref, you've got to give that goal."
Well, on the subject of ethics, yeah, he probably should.
Yeah, but this is professional football where everyone's trying to win.
Yeah, I know, but
it's not
the ethics of the game, which Villa spoke about a lot last season, not just in the Leeds game, but in other games as well, against West Brom as well. I think there was a shout there.
Yeah, but it's two different scenarios.
Look, my point is Villa are hypocrites. They cannot talk about ethics as much as they did last season, and then not pipe up and say, "That's a goal. Sorry, ref, you've got that wrong. That crossed the line."
My point is you're this passionate about it because it's Villa.
No, I'd be passionate about it if it was any other side. If it was Wolves and they were in the same situation, if they had to get a point to get Champions League and a goal crossed the line and it wasn't given, I'd say, look, that's a goal. If I was playing for Wolves, but obviously that's never going to happen because I haven't got any technical.
I think they should have looked at VAR afterwards. That's the one thing they should have done.
I'm not sure why VAR wasn't
definitely.
used.
But again, that has nothing to do with Villa.
No, I don't know.
None of this goes back to Villa.
Max's point is a bit mute, in my opinion, I think.
Honestly, having a point. I promise you, it's not just my Villa agenda. It's genuinely that they cannot talk about ethics. I promise you that.
They can't talk about ethics because of an official's mistake.
Yeah, well, no.
It's on the officials. It's not on the team. It's on the officials.
It's crossed the line. They know full well that it's crossed. Oh, we've got 20 followers.
They don't know that it's crossed the line.
Mate.
How would they know that it's crossed the line?
Carried it past the post.
This is the first
in the heat of the
mistake
moment, you're not gonna...
technology has made.
So
if the ball says it hasn't crossed the line,
they walked away with their heads down as if they just conceded. I'm pretty sure one of them knew.
I've played Sunday League before, and I've cleared the ball off the line, and I don't know whether it's gone in or not. Clearly, it's different because it's Sunday League, but in the heat of the moment, you don't know whether the whole of the ball has crossed the line or not, because only a fraction of the ball needs to be on the line, and it's no goal. And
even if I knew it did cross the line, I wouldn't be going up to the ref saying, "Ref, go on, give a goal."
No,
because it's the ref's job to give the goal. He's in charge at the end of the day.
I feel like you're living in a fantasy world here on Premier League
where
everyone's great sports and everything's
I'm playing
extremely
devil's advocate. Genuinely, I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm thinking about ethics. I'm not holding this. If it was Wolves, I would 100% say we should be going and saying to the ref, that's crossed the line. I'm genuinely serious. I promise.
Right.
We're not going to agree on this.
I'm just looking at it from the point of view of ethics. I understand that they're in a relegation battle. I genuinely understand that. But from the point of ethics, they have to say to the ref, that's crossed the line. If they're in a relegation battle, I can understand it. But if it was a mid-table tie, they have to say, oh, cross the line. Sorry, ref.
What?
Honestly, genuinely.
So if the team's higher up the league, they have to change what they do to someone who's lower down.
No, honestly,
what about your view on diving then? So if a player dives and gets a penalty, he should go up to the ref and go, "Oh, that wasn't a dive."
Well, one of their teammates, or they should, yeah. I mean, it's about being a gentleman in sport, isn't it? Like,
I think football's past being gentleman.
There's not much ethics left in football. I mean, you look at the state of FIFA.
No, I agree. There's not.
All the corporations at the top, UEFA. There's very little ethics less.
It's at the end of the day, it's the referee's job.
Yeah,
he's in charge. He doesn't need players to go tell him that it's over the line.
No,
especially when we've got VAR as well. Like there should be no mistakes like that. The players
should have checked that.
Zero responsibility for stuff like this.
But that's what happens when there's an error in a system that's been flawless up until now. You can't complain too much about it because I think it is literally the first mistake for goal line technology's made since it's been around.
I'm not going to complain too much unless someone's hit that.
And when you compare that to how many mistakes there were before goal line technology came in,
Roy Carroll being one of them.
Obviously, it's harsh on Sheffield United, but you can't really complain too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll stand by my point, but I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll have to end that before I drive down to Bournemouth. I'm throwing hands.
Go a bit further than Bournemouth, mate.
I think this is the one we can all agree on. Pogba's penalty on Dyer, or Dyer's foul on Pogba that got the penalty.
That wasn't a pen.
VAR had a perfect game.
But I don't think that's a pen.
That game shows why VAR is good and why we should have VAR.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's not a pen, Max? Pogba does these skills.
You think the first one wasn't a pen?
Pogba
about the second one?
Oh, the second one's not. No, the first one where it was given.
Which penalty decision are we talking about?
No, the first one that was actually given, Pogba and Dyer. The other one was Bruno and Dyer.
Oh no, Bruno. Sorry, I'm getting him confused. No,
the first
Bruno's one was never a pen.
No, the Bruno one. Yeah, but we're not talking about the Bruno one. We're talking about the flipping Pogba one. It's Paul Pogba. I know it's Dyer. It's penalty.
Pogba one's 100% a pen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think Dyer was appealing for it, was he?
Like Jamie said, it was the perfect use of VAR in that game.
Yeah, totally agree. Pogba won penalty, Fernandes won not penalty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't see many arguments against VAR at this point.
No, I can't.
It's clearly getting more
maybe the Villa
decisions
game,
right
but I
than
don't.
if VAR wasn't there. Because imagine VAR wasn't there and we get a penalty for that in the last minute. Imagine Jose Mourinho after that.
He's throwing hands.
I mean, that would have stopped Spurs from getting top four completely, and it's just why we need VAR.
Yeah. We'll skip the one and do that last. Quickly, the Ben Mee tackle on Aguero last night. Penalty or not penalty?
It was a penalty.
Yeah. On first view, it's
Penalty.
not. On
It was
second
just
view,
late.
it is.
Again, that's why you need VAR.
Yeah. Perfect use of VAR. Max, penalty.
Penalty.
Yeah. And finally, the Morpay on Leno. What should have happened? Absolutely, Jack. Should have happened.
I think Morpay.
What did he get for it? Did he not get a card for it?
Jamie will agree with me. I commend Morpay for that.
He didn't get
Jamie will agree with me because I know he hates Arsenal. I'm not sure whether Chaz will, but
what, commend him for what? The foul or what he said after the game?
Yeah, it was tactical. It was very clever. I think it was.
Well, I mean, you can't injure people on purpose, but he didn't even. He barely even did anything.
Yeah. If you're a striker, you want your strikers going for every ball like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah, I mean,
when people there's cases on Twitter. People have paused it when Leno has the ball in his hands and Morpay's still on the ground, and they're like, "Oh, how did he know?" But you don't get freeze frames in football. It's continuous game. You don't have the time to think about that. So
you
Morpay
also
jumps.
can't stop yourself from running instantly.
Exactly.
Morpay didn't know what Leno was going to do.
Yeah.
He didn't know that Leno was going to come out and,
9 times out of 10, Leno lands. He's fine. It's the way he
landed. I didn't
injured.
even see it live. And going off everyone's reaction, I thought it was the worst tackle that I was going to ever see. I thought it was going to be full on studs up, knee high. He's absolutely snapped his leg in half. And then I went on it and I was just watching it thinking, what even happened? Like, how did he even get injured? Like, how in any way is it Morpay's fault?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't think
it just wasn't that bad at all.
I totally agree.
And then Guendouzi to strangle him at the end of the match for it.
Do you know what, mate? Matteo Guendouzi, I cannot stand him. He's a prick, and he's so overrated as well.
Yeah, he's overrated as well. He's I sort of feel like Arsenal fans rate him because he's the only person in the midfield who's not a complete mob.
And he's young as well.
I reckon he can get good
as well. So I don't know.
I reckon he can get good.
Rate him at all.
But at the moment, no one in Arsenal's team bar Aubameyang is.
He stands out in the Arsenal team.
Yeah, he stands out in the shit Arsenal team though. That's the issue.
Exactly.
You put him in the City squad or something like that, and he doesn't get anywhere near the starting 11.
No.
That shows how far away Arsenal are, because their best midfielder doesn't get anywhere near anyone else's starting 11.
Genuinely, he's so overrated, and he's all mouth as well, like he was against Watford last year when he held up the 2-1 to the fans, or was it was 2-0, and they ended up drawing 2-2. That made me piss myself. I genuinely cannot stand him, and all the Arsenal fans will say, "Oh, he's rent-free in your head." He's not. He's such a bellend.
Arsenal fans support that, but then when Morpay comes out and says stuff about Arsenal need to learn,
they get so upset and uptight about it.
They bloody get lawyers involved. It's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, but nothing should have happened to Morpay. It's one of those things. Obviously, it's awful what happened to Leno, but it's not Morpay's fault. And the fact that Leno, when he went off, was effing and jeffing towards Morpay is only going to make things worse.
I absolutely love what he said after it as well. Just absolutely pissing Arsenal fans off. I love it. They were talking shit to him all game, weren't they?
That's the state of Arsenal, aren't they? They're just... And then Guendouzi at the end, of course, choked him.
That's the level that they're at. They're getting into scraps like this with teams like Brighton.
Yeah.
You've now got agendas against Brighton wanting them to get relegated.
If you didn't know the league table and you viewed Arsenal and you didn't know who Arsenal were, you'd think they're in the relegation battle. Everything about them is relegated. Look at this. Look, I'm on the table now. They've won 9 games. All the teams around them, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
That's poor
No,
from
it's
Arsenal.
not good. It's not good
Yeah.
enough. for
13
Arsenal.
draws. That's
It's
diabolical.
probably the worst season for them in. Well, they've been in the top flight the longest out of any club there at the minute, at present. This is probably, I'd say, their worst season in top flight. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really know about. I think they nearly
diabolical.
got relegated in the 80s or something.
I think Everton are the longest standing in the Premier League. I don't think they've ever been relegated.
No, Everton have. They've gone down to the second division. That was in the early days of the Football League.
I swear Everton are like one of the only teams to ever not be relegated.
That's Premier League.
They've definitely gone down. They're one of the only teams that have not been relegated from the Premier League.
Yeah,
they've gone down to the second division. I think it was in like the 1800s.
Let's jump onto the big question for the last 5 or so minutes. I've got the table up. Who's getting Champions League football? Let's say Man City bandstands. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th get Champions League football. Which 3 teams are getting it?
Well,
I'm going to have to say the 3 teams that are there now.
Yeah, I'd say Leicester, Chelsea, and United. I don't think Wolves are consistent enough to get it.
United have a good run in.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of who gets top 4, I feel like United have a good chance of overtaking Chelsea.
Yeah.
After the performance against Villa, they're not going to win every game remaining. They've got City as the next game.
I do hope United get 4th because getting Champions League on 5th is very, very dodgy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still be happy with it. I just want to see the Champions League.
City going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport about it, I believe. So I think they might get their ban overturned. I'm not sure.
Well, they've had the case. They've had the appeal.
I've said it on Twitter, right? Oh, why are they not looking into the likes of AC Milan, Barcelona, Juventus's finances are so tainted. It's a joke.
That's Italian football for you.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a big difference between City and those clubs, and that's the fact that they're all massive clubs.
Exactly.
City were a relegation Premier League team that went straight to the top of the Premier League within, 3 years, something like that?
3 years, yeah. But I would actually argue that Man City are doing a lot more for the community than the likes of Juventus are. Man City have taken an area of Manchester which everyone saw as it was a bit run down, and they're revitalising it a bit. But I don't see Juventus or Bayern Munich or anyone doing that to their.
Yeah, but keeping it in football, I feel like you can't compare City and people and clubs like that because they're huge clubs who have almost always been huge clubs.
They are,
City came from nowhere. The money came from nowhere. They can't even fill a stadium, and they went from a relegation team club to winning Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
Like they weren't generating that much money. They can't even sell the stadium out.
Yeah, but then you look at how much
all money that the owners pumped into it.
How much money have Juventus generated over the past few years? They sold Pogba for
I'd guess more than City, especially when City were relegation fighting team.
You've got to remember, Juventus' stadium only sits 40,000. The Italian league doesn't pay out massive TV revenue like the Premier League. Sometimes Juventus don't even sell out their ground.
Yeah, but consistently in the Champions League.
I think as well
City just didn't have that money.
No.
They've kind of halted the financial fair play rules, I think.
I do think people need to look at Juventus's record.
Yeah, I mean, you can't compare it to people like Barcelona, Real Madrid. No, Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world.
I know, but
it's like the same with United. United generate that money.
Worrying them. They come out and said,
I don't think you have to look at every team and go, they've spent big money, we should investigate them. That's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, you can't really compare people like Barcelona.
You've got to look at their income as well. Now, Barcelona they sell a lot of shirts, a lot of those shirts are also fake, so they're not getting any profit from it.
No, you can't compare.
A lot of their shirts are
where City were as well to Barcelona.
Yeah, true. City the money created City.
No, I know, but I don't know. I do think it's unfair that City are being penalised as much as they are. I mean,
it's not unfair.
Yeah, it's definitely not unfair.
Your point is that they should be looking into more
my
teams.
point is they could be looking at other teams as well.
Yeah,
they've just completely cheated the system. Like they've not worked for way up
just because
through hard work or anything. It's literally just purely pump as much money into the club as possible.
Just because in your eyes there's teams who have cheated more than City, doesn't mean that we should just feel City are harsh done by.
No, I know, but I don't know. I feel they are. I don't know. I'd also just like to point out as well. I've noticed we've lost the second least amount of games in the Premier League.
That is quite impressive, to be fair.
Yeah. Jesus, Man City
I feel like
7. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that actually.
Yeah. So yeah, just final point, Max. Who's your top? Who's champions getting Champions League? Leicester, Chelsea.
Champions League. I can't see Leicester not getting it. Chelsea, Leicester, Man United, Liverpool, and Wolves to get Europa League. But can I said I was speaking to my dad about it. While we've got 4 minutes left on the meeting, do you think that obviously the semi-finals of the Europa League and the quarterfinals are going to be one game, not 2 legs? Do you think that discounts the trophy as such?
Yeah.
So do you think
is that confirmed for only one leg instead of 2?
Yeah, it's only 1 leg. So do you think that devalues the trophy in any way, or
no.
do you think that's fair game?
No.
It's still a Champions League.
Yeah, it's still a Champions League, but you've played less games than most people would to get there.
Oh yeah, it's at neutral venues, isn't it? Yeah. No, I mean it's still winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
So if Wolves won the Europa League and people were like, oh, well, you've only played X amount of games to get there. Normally people would play X amount more games.
If anything, it could be more difficult to win with only 1 leg at neutral venues because a lot of teams rely on home crowds pulling them through. I mean, winning it under the circumstances of this season is probably even harder than any other season.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I
can
see
so
that.
that's the same with Europa League and Champions League. It's all 1 leg.
Yeah, it's all 1 leg, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final.
I mean, I'm only disappointed because that just means less football.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know. I was
just
wondering whether any of you thought it discounted like the value of the trophy of the tournament.
Not at all. Because at the end of the day, it's still Champions League.
Yeah, in terms of who I think is going to get top 4, I think with the remaining fixtures, and obviously being a United fan, I feel like United are going to overtake Chelsea.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that one. I think Leicester third, United are going to overtake Chelsea
as well. I don't think Chelsea got it in the bag to keep themselves there.
If we can get Pogba and Bruno consistently playing with each other.
Yeah, I think the link up against Tottenham was quite good for them.
Yeah, that was their first game together. They only had half an hour to show it. I feel like there could be a lot more to come from them. But I mean, it just depends if Pogba stays fit.
Final question. Tottenham or Arsenal, are they getting Europa League?
Tottenham, yes.
Tottenham, yeah. Arsenal, definitely not.
Yeah.
Arsenal lucky to get top half.
Now, imagine being a point above Burnley. That's embarrassing.
I feel bad for Arsenal fans.
I'll never feel bad for Arsenal fans.
No, of course I don't.
Lovely. Final 2 minutes. Anyone want to say anything worthy of note?
I mean, this has been a long.
Yeah.
Look,
cone flip on YouTube, and that's it.
Not cone flip on YouTube. Oh my god.
Yeah, I look forward to taking the win with my predictions this weekend again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because you think you're like the best.
Is Jamie just going to walk away with it all the time?
Huh? What? No. What?
We actually chuck money into these predictions, or are we?
I'd do that.
Yeah, I'll shake your hand on that.
Well, if we do it officially.
Yeah. Make a league table
on its own.
We should. Oh no, we'll do fantasy.
I win fantasy all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only one who actually plays it, so
don't come at me with my 104 points.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
It has been a good
one. Quite a heated debate in there.
Yeah,
it's been probably the first one between me and Max.
That's good.
Jamie's brought an added spice to the podcast. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's why I suggested bringing them in. You know.
Oh, here we go. Back to you. Yep. It's all you. Well done.
I thought we was going to disagree more on VAR. To be fair,
No,
I thought you was very against VAR.
There was enough disagreement, I think, for one episode anyway. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will speak soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.